I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to invite my good friend to show me what's inside the box, Legendary Encounters The Matrix, and to show me the differences between this and the original Legendary Encounters Alien. Hello? Morpheus? Okay, Nato, welcome to Legendary Studios.
Thank you. I'm always happy to be here.
It's great to have you. So, and by the end of this video, you will be lucky as well, because he's going to take us through and teach us and show us everything we need to know about this game. Awesome. So tell me, what are we looking at?
Well, first of all, I got to thank you and Cax, because you actually got this game for me at Gen Con.
You're welcome.
And I was very intrigued by it, because I've actually had Legendary Encounters Alien for a number of years now, and actually Cax and I played it very regularly back in the day. So I'm excited to see the changes and what they've kind of done here.
And you got to watch a bit of a playthrough, just sort of setting up the components.
Yeah. I got to. When we were at the convention there, I did get a chance to look at how the game plays, and it does it does look very similar to Alien Encounters, if you have played that. I just have to comment on the box art here. I just love this Clint Eastwood.
Yes, right there, Dirty Harry.
It's the Dirty Harry look, and you can see what they're doing is they're doing the serious face on one side and the angry face on the other, but when it comes together, it looks just like Clint Eastwood.
It really does.
So it's
yeah. That is comical.
So let's get this box open here. Okay. Now the star of the show. Well, we'll get to that, I guess, in a sec. But the rule book here. I had a chance to glance at this at the convention. It looks very similar in length and so forth to the.
How many pages are we looking at?
We're looking at it's 26.
Like half pages almost. Though.
Yeah, but they always have a little bit of sort of strategy tips and things at the end. So if you actually look at the rules, it's probably closer to 20 pages.
Okay, now if you've seen our channel before, you know that he loves heavy complex games. I tend to be on the lighter fare, 10 being the most crazy complex game in the world to learn, 1 being tic-tac-toe. Where does this game rank for you?
For me, it probably is about a 3 or 4, honestly.
So it's pretty easy to learn.
No, it's not that hard. They're just explaining the mechanics, because it is kind of a unique system. And I think that it will, we'll be doing some other content on this, and you can see it's a really kind of interesting way to kind of tie these mechanics together in a way that makes it an interesting and thematic game that tells a story. It's very narrative based, so I could see you really liking it.
Well, and the rest of the movies aside, I love the original movie.
Yes.
It's so fantastic. Yeah. So thematically, I like what I'm getting into here. Okay,
so we've got some standees here. We have Morpheus and Neo and all the cast is here. So that's nice.
And we've got some phone calls.
Yes.
That's when a telephone booth is probably broken. You won't be able to use that phone, and we won't be able to jack out. If at any point we get in trouble in this video, we're just going to jack out. That's why the phone is there.
That's why this is here.
Yeah.
All right. Now here's the real star of the show, and it was the star of the show back when they did the Alien one. It was really, this was something I'd never seen before, and it's been done since with games like Oath and so forth. But the neoprene mat.
Very nice.
And just such a nice surface to play on. And it's really, and it organizes everything. It's just that whole playmat, customized playmat idea.
That's what sort of simplifies the game, is that you know exactly where everything goes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's really cool. And if you play Magic, then you know the importance of a good playmat.
Yeah.
But this will up the cost of the game. The game was probably a little more than I would have expected.
Yeah.
But I think this accounts for some of the price there.
Yes, that's definitely the price. And it looks like very, gives you that theme. It drips with the kind of the Matrix elements that you remember from the movies.
That's
right. So I think it's really cool. Now the other...
And thematically, we are in the Matrix now because it's using the green theme.
Yes. So. Now in the Alien version of the Legendary Encounters, you had the hive, I think it was called here, and then everything would move across and then eventually go into the combat zone. So you had to attack these things these aliens while they were making their way before they could actually attack you. So it's almost like they're approaching you of this relentless march. And it's the same idea here from what I understand, although it adds the element of a phone where you can hop in and out of the matrix.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's going to be sort of like we fight Mr. Smith here and then we fight Mr. Smith here? We fight
I was
Mr.
wondering that.
He's going to have like 10 Mr. Smiths.
I was wondering that. That'd be very good to find out. And it's important to remember that the game has two parts to it. You are building your own customized deck, so it does have that deck building aspect, and it has a combat aspect.
And am I trying to sort of level up my deck so I have more powerful attacks?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
And the one kind of unique feature of this is the coordinate action. I'm going to have to use this here.
I wondered how long it would take to give up. You really did, yeah.
But the coordinate action is kind of a neat mechanic, because when you play this with other players, you can actually play a card called with the word coordinate on it, and then you can play your cards on their turn to help them out.
Okay.
So
how many players are we looking at for this game here, by the way?
I'm assuming 1 to 4. I'm pretty sure that's what the original one did, like the Alien Encounters one did. But
right. Here,
it can be played solo.
Look here.
Sure, it can be played solo. Yeah, there you go.
1 to 5 players.
Okay.
And
all right.
30 to 60 minutes. Would you say that's fairly...
Yeah.
Once you get to know the game.
Once you get to know the game, it's actually it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because really, you're just, and I don't know how this one's handled, whether they cover the different Matrix movies, but that's what they did in the Alien Encounter. Is that Legendary Encounters? The Alien was you could actually replay each of the movies, and you had each different cards that would come out that would have characters or events that took place in Aliens, for example, or Alien 3 or whatever. So I'm wondering if there's a pretty decent number of cards here, so I'm guessing that's probably what they did. It probably takes you through the Matrix movies, at least the first 3 of them. I know there's a 4th one now. So that's my guess, but I haven't looked into that yet.
Funny, just a quick comment on the artwork. So Agent Smith looks a little bit more Hollywood. He's got the shine behind him, and he looks a little less Hugo Weaving geeky and a little more cool. And Neo looks a little more jacked than Keanu Reeves was back in that day. So,
yeah, for sure. But the art looks kind of neat. I think you get some.
I wonder if they've gotten away from like trying to make it look exactly like the series, and they're going for a more exaggerated style.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. Actually,
I'm just waiting for you to turn this box over.
I know it's going to be a mess. Oh, jeez.
But actually, we didn't comment on this before. The foam inserts.
Yes.
So is this meant to be expandable? Is that why we have these extra boxes here?
Yeah, well, I know that with Legendary Encounters Alien, one of the big challenges of that game, which maybe they have worked on a bit with these storage boxes, was organizing the cards. Because you had a different deck of cards for each movie. You had a bunch of different characters. They each had their own kind of thing. And it was a lot of kind of sifting through cards and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And it looks like they have the same volume of cards in this game as well. So I would imagine that there's going to be some organizational tools provided so that you can keep everything organized enough to for your next play. Because I always found with Alien that was one of the biggest challenges. It was like trying to keep everything organized so I could set up quickly. Right. And so if I, and certainly after a game, you need to kind of get everything back in order and ready to go for the next time. So, but perhaps they've got some more. They've become more organized with the setup.
That'd be cool. So, now help me here. I don't know what's going on with this.
That is
Why
new.
are they completely black?
That is new. I don't know that
interesting.
Actually. But
and there's no stickers or anything that are going on to customize. So
that's interesting. I'm not sure. Huh. Look at this. Completely black.
Interesting. Well, hey, in the comments, if you are one step ahead of us and you know what the black cards are, or if you played the game and have some thoughts on it, please let us know.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what? I know what these are. I do know what these are. Yes. These are the organizers. So this is what you use. So it's very similar actually to Legendary Encounters Alien. These are the cards you put in between all the decks. in order so that it's organized for your next play.
Cool. You had to be really quick to get that comment in before NATO solved it. So,
like, ding, got it.
Yeah, nailed it. But hey, at least we gave you a chance.
Yes. And awesome. So probably they're going to have decks for different characters, and there's some things as well. If you look on the playmat here, there are some things like strikes. So when you take damage, so this one moves across, as I said. Strikes will give you damage.
Okay.
So when you take a hit, you draw a strike, and it gives you a certain amount of hit point damage, that kind of thing.
Nice. Does this game remind you of any other games? Like I'm wondering about some of those, like the one that Cax loves, Legendary. Not Legendary Marvel or Champions or any of those where you have villains and you're
well, there is a Marvel version of
maybe that's what I'm
Legendary
thinking of.
Encounters, I believe, and that's what you might be thinking of.
Yes.
But it has some things in common with those games, from what I understand. Zion, nice. I'm guessing this is the dock where all your available cards are.
Okay.
And then I think Zion is feeding that, to give you fresh cards to buy.
Right.
There's a few things, though, I don't know for sure.
I'm noticing
like the hovercraft, I'm not sure about.
This looks like a new mechanic here, jacking in or jacking out.
Yes, that's definitely new.
You maybe need to use this space, and these tokens perhaps are, you can't get out of the
Yes,
matrix.
That's what they explained to us at the Gen Con booth. So these tokens will go on here. If this phone is free,
yes.
and it's available to help you to get in and out of the matrix.
You're good to go.
But if it does get attacked and damaged, then those close, and you always have access to the phone through the combat zone, but you have to pay for it. It's a pay phone.
Okay.
So these ones are free to use, but then once you...
So don't forget your quarters.
Yes, exactly. But overall, when I saw this, I thought, wow, it's a neat twist on the theme, but it feels very familiar at the same time.
Okay.
Like, they've renamed some things, but I honestly think that any gamer that has played Legendary Encounters will be able to just jump right into this with just a quick overview of the rules.
Now, if they want to learn how to play this game, are you going to be making a video to help them out?
Absolutely. What a great question. Absolutely. I'm going to be putting together a video to help teach people this game. I was thinking years ago of doing it for Legendary Encounters Alien, but the cards are a little bit graphic.
Right.
The artwork is a little bit more on the graphic side.
Too much for our family G-rated
Yeah, it's not
channel.
really family friendly, so I stayed away from it. But this one's looks like it's going to be fine. So looking forward to giving this one a try. So,
very cool. Well, thank you for the introduction, and don't forget, like, subscribe, do all of that YouTube-y stuff. That really helps our channel out. And feel free to join our channel, become a member if you'd like to support us even more.
Yeah, don't forget to get out there,
Get gaming.
and be legendary.